Well, today is Thursday, and yeah, basically, I got some news to catch up a little bit, but now is a good time to tell you what was going on before my trip ended because now a lot has gone down after I got back, but before my trip there was lots of I would say a lot of drama that, and yes, it had to do with my parents. I was like, oh my god, like come on. But now, days later, there's more drama now, and unfortunately now I have to deal with this now. But the good news is I registered for class, so there shouldn't be a problem because they say oh, you didn't register, so you're just gonna be at a job. Which, if you guys don't know, I vowed not to get a job till after I have boosted up my career, which you guys know what my career is. But yeah, once I boost that up, I can finally get a job, even though if I had a car or not. But sadly, I still don't have my full license yet. I have my half, but I have not gotten my full yet because my dad now does not. Ever since before my trip, he didn't want to teach me at all. He didn't teach me for these past 3 Sundays, especially this Sunday since we were in LA, for gosh sake. But yeah, for these past few Sundays before we left, he didn't teach me at all. He says he was gonna, but then a Sunday later, he never did. And so I'm like, yeah, obviously, I don't know what's going on. I mean, either he wants me to get a license or not. This is what I have no idea about. But yeah, I'm gonna take you in and I'm gonna tell you everything about what went down. Hey guys, it's me. I'm back again with another video now, and it's now, of course, it's not a video I didn't want to do, but it's just a video about recapping a bit what's going on before and after my trip and stuff. And of course, I was trying to release 2 or 3 more videos a day after I got back, but unfortunately, I'm still dealing with the stupid storage issue, so yeah, it's gonna be probably another week. But I have to get these videos done by now, and I have to delete a lot of more shit off my phone, so yeah. Sorry, guys, if you're wondering why a few 12 days later I'm doing this video when I haven't even released all the others yet, when I have nearly almost finished editing. But it was a lot, but I have to edit these others that are on my phone, and I can't even edit them because none of them are appearing on this computer, so now I have to deal with that. But yeah, anyways, guys, before I start, I would like to thank my best friend Ben. After him coming out, I guess he told me probably days before I came back from my trip, but he said he's gonna come out gay, something like that. I mean, I'm thinking, well, that's up to him. It's fine with him. I mean, I'm not forcing him to be, but okay. But yeah, and probably upcoming maybe in January. He and I are. If you guys have been wondering why we haven't done the challenge yet, it's because I told him before, maybe we should do the challenge before I leave for my trip, but since sadly he was busy, he's gonna be busy, who knows, God, how long? So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to just wait until January now to do this because I'm obviously gonna go back to school. And so the plan was now, well, this was basically my plan. This wasn't pretty much his. My plan was to start the challenge in January on the day I'm in class, on the day I'm back in campus. And he's like, oh, that's honestly that's a great idea, like we could do it. And well, and it's gonna be on a new year, so yeah, since he posted that, either he should do it or not. Probably back in October, not October, back in November. So yeah, it's probably been a few months since he posted that. So yeah, I was like, yeah, because I can't. There's no way we're gonna be able to film this because I'm now not gonna be home alone every day now because sadly, my parents have to decide now if I'm gonna go with my mom or not. And it sucks because I'm like, nah, this is fucked up, and it's just messed up because honestly, I've helped my mom, and you guys have seen all my other recent videos and vlogs, but I've helped my mom before and after Thanksgiving, even before I had the cold, and I'm like thinking maybe she's gonna let me go a week after Thanksgiving, and nope, she didn't. And so now I had to go with her before the trip a few months ago, and then after this trip, now I have to go with her, and it's even more irritating because I don't even get a lot of free time these days for me, even though I do on the weekends, mostly weekdays, it depends. Because yeah, my mom these days, I guess she's getting out of, I wouldn't say out of contact, but I feel like she's going out of control and through her ways to make my life miserable. Not so miserable, but like not letting me have the freedom I want, since I sadly never had much of freedom. But yeah, anyways, LA was fine. I didn't take much pictures. I did take some pictures on my phone, not on my camera, because on my camera I had like 5 films slides left. So yeah, it was okay, but like I said, I didn't go to a lot of places I wanted to go. So yeah, you guys will see that video probably next week or another week after that, because unfortunately, yeah, like I said, I gotta find a way to get these clips on here, so I'm gonna probably have a lot of issues with it. But yeah, today I tried looking for my little pin pushing the cat, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot I lost it here, so let me look. And so I looked around here and the rooms and the kitchen, everywhere else, and it was not there. But yeah, apparently the trip was fine. Sadly, we didn't rent a car because unlike last year, every year we go to LA, we always rent a car. But this year, sadly, was not the case, sadly. So we had to spend vacation in LA indoors, which honestly makes me feel like singing the SpongeBob Indoors song, which I've sang that song for around like 2020 during the pandemic 2 years ago. But now that I'm going to places, I guess, a little bit, but mostly college, yeah, apparently I guess I don't need to sing it anymore. But I did eat at some restaurants. There was this restaurant I couldn't eat this year in LA. I ate last year, obviously, and I didn't eat this year, but there's this restaurant I like. It's called Pescado Mojado. It's a really good restaurant. There's a lot of good ass food there. I get full right away when I eat. But me saying that is because I first eat the tostadas, and then I eat the tacos, and then I eat a bit of the soup with some rice in it. And yeah, after probably like a few minutes or so, I start to feel not so nauseous, but like I start feeling like so full, like I couldn't eat anything else. And so I tell my mom like, hey, I'm like full now. I'm not nauseous. I'm starting to feel a little nauseous, but like I can't eat all this other half of this food because I'm gonna get more sick. And I'm already full at this point. I can't eat, and neither could my parents could eat. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to take this to go because I can't eat this. I'm gonna throw up if I eat it. So yeah, I couldn't eat that. But this year I went to my aunt's house. I can't think where else we went. I went to my aunt's house, but all I know is that I couldn't see my other cousins. I saw my oldest cousins, but like now that I'm like grown up and stuff, they're like 1 year older than me, by the way, if you guys were wondering, but they don't talk to me anymore, but I'm cool with it. As long as they say hello and stuff, yeah, it's fine. And my dad told me like about my oldest cousin, like he has a girlfriend. I'm like, oh, congrats for him, because I didn't know. And my other cousin doesn't, so I'm like, his loss. I mean, I guess it's up to him. I don't know. And so like a lot has changed honestly in LA, but this is something I never knew. Well, I wouldn't say could happen, but like I've never seen it. So apparently 2 days ago, which was last week, it started raining in Florida, which has never rained in Florida. Every time I go with my parents or my family, it never rains, not a single time. And so I'm like, wow, it rains way harder here than in Atlanta. So I'm like, yeah, it rains way harder. And I could hear like heavy rains and stuff. I didn't hear lightning or thunder. I didn't hear thunder or lightning. So I'm like, okay, so there's no thunder, there's no lightning here. That's fine because here in Atlanta there's a lot of thunder and lightning. So yeah. But like, what else? I just sadly had to like, I did film inside for a few days, but since there were days when I was like really occupied, there would be days I wouldn't have time to film. There were days I had time, but mostly I had to get back to like finding a place to film because sadly, when you go visit one of your aunts in a new house, there's barely not a lot of space for some people to have their space, and I would say it's for me because when I went there, the house was fine. It was very new, but apparently like every time my grandma comes in a room in the same room as me, I have to go somewhere else and find a place to not sleep but like film. But as soon as I find it, I had to sadly film outside, and that shit was so fucking cold outside, and I was like, no. It's so cold outside. I don't know how I'm gonna film this, but I'm gonna try. And you guys probably will see later in the video how hard I try to like keep up with the video, because it was so damn cold outside. I didn't want to be outside because I knew how bad and how the temperature was. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna have to just start filming here because all the rooms are all occupied. I couldn't find a single spot to film anyways inside either because everyone was taking up the space, especially my parents. So I was like, no, I can't film in the living room. My parents are gonna be like, who I'm talking to and stuff. And my dad obviously is gonna accuse me and think that I'm FaceTiming someone or something, but I'm not. But yeah, you guys got to see, I guess you guys will get to see or already saw the video that I'm gonna be posting later on, but yeah, I'm not trying to do anything inappropriate on Snapchat, but yeah. And like, I did tell my mom, she's like, don't follow these type of people, like Indians people, and I'm like, I know, because I don't know them. Honestly, I obviously don't know them, so I'm like, yeah, why even follow them when you don't know them? Like, that's just a little off. Unless they see you like somewhere, not, I wouldn't say like school or somewhere, but unless they see you like on social media or stuff, like that's probably different. I don't know. But yeah, that's something I had to encounter, and I was a little either creeped out or just plain uncomfortable because I was like, no, I'm not trying to talk to people like that. And it's not like I didn't never even intentionally plan on that. So I'm like, yeah, I was not trying to do that. So yeah. But anyways, guys, so far now I have to sadly go with my mom, and now I have to film. The good news is there's Wi-Fi now. There's Wi-Fi at the house. I can film also there. I just hope the Wi-Fi doesn't go anywhere because my dad says he's gonna cut it off in January. So I'm like, really? Right when I'm gonna go back to college? I already registered for next year, so there's no way he can disconnect it if I'm still going. But like, I'm still having issues registering for math. I have registered like only one class, and I don't know if they're gonna let me in anyways, but yeah. And now my mom has forcibly told me to get a goddamn job. And they've been telling me this since I was, years now. They told me since I was like 17. And I'm like, no, because I don't need it. Well, when I was 17, I was like, I don't need a job and stuff. And like, why should I get a job? Because again, it would just ruin my... Honestly, when I was a teen, I thought it would ruin my reputation, but I guess I thought wrong about it. But I guess it doesn't ruin your reputation. I don't know. I've never had a job. So yeah, don't come judging me and shit on here because I, as a 20-year-old, don't have a job when some people that age would have a job. But yeah, I chose not to because of 3 reasons. 1, I don't have a car. 2, I wouldn't be able to get to work on time. Even if I'd get on the bus, I'd be late. And then 3, probably wouldn't get paid well. I'd get paid either not so well or just so less minimum. So I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to be like that person who like has to deal with a minimum wage and is not in the good financial stability, So, yeah, that's just 3 reasons why I don't want to get a job. But since now I'm still in college now, I'm still planning on getting a job, even if I don't have a successful career yet. But like sometimes I just tell my parents why, and they just don't take it. They just don't believe me or something. I guess they just don't think that's a good excuse or something. But I'm like, I'm serious, because how if you're like 20 years old and you don't have your license at all, and you got a job but you don't have a car or a license. I have a car, but I don't have a full license, and you don't have like I said, you don't have a license. How are you gonna get to work? You can't go to work by a taxi or bus. Uber, I guess, is an option, but my parents and I have experienced Uber, and I can see why some people don't like it. Sorry, guys, I just dropped my phone. But I could see why some people either use it or don't like it. But we had some issues basically in LA. Not so much for me, but mostly some issues legitimately to get to like a hotel. But that's all I'm gonna say. I can't get too much into details. I didn't film in the hotel because obviously my sister was there, so I was like, nah, I can't film there. Especially with her in the room, with my brother-in-law, yeah, I can't do it. So I'm gonna have to just film outside of the hotel and outside of LA. But a day ago, I was like not pissed, but I was like freezing cold outside because it was so cold in LA. But my mom was so mad. I have never seen my mom that mad in my life. My dad wasn't that really mad. He was just a little annoyed. He wasn't that mad, but I could sense like he was annoyed, and I was like, yeah, he's so annoyed. I was like thinking, no, he doesn't. He may look mad, but he's not. So I'm like, yeah, he's not that mad. And my mom just literally started every time I tried talking to my mom, she just starts arguing with me. So I'm like, no. If my mom's mad, I'm not gonna talk to her because I don't want to get started with arguments and drama and shit, you know. So I'm like, no. And my dad's like, stop arguing with her. I'm like, don't blame me, blame her. That bitch is literally starting every argument with me. And since I'm always right, and she's sometimes wrong or right, I don't know, what the hell. But like every time I tell my dad, like, I'm not trying to argue with her, she's the one who starts it. Like, I'm telling her I'm telling him the truth. Like, she's the one who starts it. I'm not the one who starts it. Unless if I'm in a bad mood, that's different. But like every time I wake up in a good mood, no, not a bad mood, but a good mood, she always ruins it. And then she just starts arguing with me immediately for no reason, either for a reason or for no reason. Mostly it would be for no reason. But like today, no, I guess it was for a reason, I don't know. But I wasn't like offended today. I was just a little annoyed, and that was it. And she's somehow offended. I don't know why, but I didn't even say anything. I wouldn't say racist, but I didn't say anything bad towards her, so I don't know why she's like that offended when I'm like, how can you be when I didn't say anything bad about you? But mostly I talked it to some of you guys on Instagram. I'm now not being so much on Snapchat, if you guys are wondering what's going on, why I haven't posted on Snapchat too much now, because apparently I'm not so much on it now. I'm glad my sisters have not said anything or tell me to like delete it or something, because first off, I'm just only gonna follow people who I know. And somehow, this is gonna sound crazy, you guys might think I'm lying, but I'm not. I'm being dead ass. But like these strangers or people, if you go to Snapchat and you click on add people, or like people who want to follow you, and you click on quick add, you'll see there's like a lot of people who want to like, you could like add, I guess, or like you could just click on it, I guess, I don't know. There was like up to 60 people from the quick add who I didn't know at all at the time, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are these people trying to follow me on Snapchat? I don't even know them. And so I just ignored them completely. Hell, it's just so weird that also Indians were trying to also follow me on Snapchat. So I'm like thinking, what the hell? Like, why are they trying to follow me? I don't speak their language. I'm not trying to be racism, but like I don't speak their language. I mean, I of course always support the Black Lives Matter, but like I don't know why these like Indians are like trying to follow me on Snapchat. It's just really creepy, really weird, so messed up, and it just makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, no, like, and there's some that just that are like looking for sugar daddies and stuff, and I'm like saying no, and I just block them immediately. That's what I do also on Instagram. I don't like talk to them and stuff, but like it's just so weird how I've had some weird encounters on social media. But yeah, mostly I would just ignore them. But like I said, like there's some predators out there that would do anything to get your attention or something, and you could end up in trouble. Not like me, but like there's some girls who would try to do that, and I'm not one of them. But yeah, apparently a lot of Indians were trying to add me as their friend on Snapchat. I'm like thinking, no, I don't know them. And I'd either ignore it or just block them immediately if they start saying something inappropriate to me or something, because I'm not trying to do anything inappropriate on Snapchat. Like, I told my dad yesterday, like, hey, you gotta control your wife. I'm not trying to judge you or force you, but like every time I go with her to her job, she's the one who starts arguing with me and doing the drama and stuff when it's not me. It's mostly her. And she says I'm the one who starts it when it's the opposite around. And she just doesn't see it the way I see it. And so my dad's like, okay, don't worry, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm like, I hope so. I hope she don't start arguing with me again, because every time I go with her, it's just argument, 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 argument. Every time I'm in the car with her. Even if I'm in a good mood, she tries to ruin it. So I'm like, nah, like this is annoying. I don't like people like that who are just trying to make arguments and shit with me. Like, I'm sick of that. And I mean, if some people are like in bad moods, you can just avoid it or ignore it or just not get involved. But mostly she would drag me into it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying I don't have a choice, but like she's just mostly getting on my bad side. And I don't want anyone on my bad side because, but yeah, anyways, yeah, I just don't get why she says that. But mostly, yeah, I sometimes would just have to ignore her mostly, or sometimes she ignores me and acts like she's the offended person in this conversation. And then I gotta be the one who apologizes like a kid when I'm not a kid anymore. I'm literally 20 now. I'm not even 8 years old anymore. I'm so glad I'm not, but yeah. So now, probably weeks ago, probably before I went to LA, apparently I had to talk to my oldest sister, and she's told me some shocking things that I didn't know my mom said probably before I was born or probably after I was born, but I was really offended and really pissed that she'd say something like that behind my back, even though I was like little and had no idea what was going on. Apparently, yeah, I was just shocked about what my sister said, and I was like, no, I had no idea she said something like that. And like, I'm thinking like, wow, this was crazy. Like, this really went down, or like that actually happened. And she's all like, yeah, it happened. I wouldn't say behind your back, but like it just happened. Probably at my first birthday. I don't know. But yeah, like it was probably weeks ago before I didn't even get the cold. Probably around like November. But yeah, like she told me a lot of stuff that went down, what my mom did to her and my sister before, probably when I was a kid. I obviously probably wasn't in the room when that happened. But I was like, wow, she literally tried to physically fight my other sister. I was like, damn, I've never seen her fight like that. I mean, there was one time I guess she tried doing that to me. I didn't offend her, but like I think she tried doing that to me probably a year ago when I was a teen, but like I obviously don't ever want to fight my parents. I mean, that's the only thing I wouldn't those are like the only people I don't want to fight. My parents, cuz yeah. It's like not a good image. It feels wrong, and it just feels like you're hurting yourself. So yeah, I'm like telling my sister like, no, I don't want to physically fight my mom because I feel like it wouldn't look good on my reputation, but it would like feel like bad and wrong. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to try physically fighting her. And I've never punched her. Probably as a kid, I probably slapped her. I can't even exactly remember what I did to her when I was a kid, but as a teen, I think I did slap her on her hand. Not her like face, no. Even though I took boxing, I vowed never to like beat my parents' ass up, But like I'd mostly beat my other sister's ass up because honestly, she was the only person who was more annoying to me when I was a kid that I completely remember. Because honestly, rethinking that gets me so mad immediately because I'm like thinking, yeah, she got away with that. She did that to me, and she did that, and like you can't let it go sometimes. But yeah. Now, few days before I headed back, apparently now they had, I wouldn't say like a serious pep talk, but like it wasn't like the pep talks here in Georgia, but like they're like talking differently, and I'm like, well, that's interesting because they don't talk like that towards me in Atlanta. Here in LA, it's way different. And so they're like, as long as you don't talk about nonsense and stuff, you're gonna be fine. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, yes, I know. But they honestly never try to argue with me in LA, so I'm like, thank God, because I just need a break from that, because I'm sick of that. But like, mostly, I hate to see it when they argue. I mean, probably to me, now that I'm older, is enjoyable to watch, but like, now that maybe when I was a kid and I saw that, I guess I was a little upset and down about it. I don't know. And I don't know or remember if they argued when I was a kid, but I think they probably did. I don't know, but they probably argued probably when I was asleep. That's probably one thing that I wouldn't probably remember or know. But yeah, anyways, guys, apparently this week and next week is gonna be a little rough. Next Tuesday I will be home alone. But of course, I know my parents are gonna leave me with chores to do, so I'm like, yeah, you guys are obviously gonna leave me with chores to do. And my mom says I do them wrong, but I do them right. And when she noticed like these towels in the bathroom that stinked, I was like, dude, if I put them in the basket, that shit would have stinked and been worse. But I didn't put it in the basket because I'm not that dumb. That shit would have stinked very badly for 2 weeks, and that smell probably wouldn't have never come out, even if you started washing it. So I'm like, we were running out of paper towels. It was like little bit of paper towels, and like there was not going to be enough to clean this like mess up, because I was cleaning the sink of the bathroom of the house, not the kitchen, but like the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, there's not going to be enough paper, and there's just going to be a little bit of paper for me to clean. It's just be half a bit of the paper, and like the sink is huge, so how am I supposed to clean it? I'm not using my own PJ shirt to clean it up, because that's just madly disgusting. Like, what do you want me to do? I see Dad uses like paper. I see him use those towels, especially Saturdays, because he helps my mom. And I'm like, what the hell's up with that? And you tell me to use them too also over there. So don't say like you don't know what you're talking about. And honestly, yeah, I just feel like she just says some stuff just to piss me off or annoy me. And she's like, oh really? I'm like, yeah, it's true, because I see it more often than you think you do. More often. And now, but it just sounded like she was trying to act dumb, act dumbfounded, and like, oh no, I didn't. I'm like thinking, wow, she's really playing that card. Wow, like, no. I try so hard not to argue with her, especially with my dad, because my dad's way different than her. So I'm like, mostly my dad also started. Yeah, LA was fine, but yeah, like I said, I didn't go so much anywhere. I did go though, just one store, sadly, because like I did not had enough time, and we didn't have a car to rent out. So yeah, apparently my sister and my bro-in-law were able to go anywhere they want to. So I'm like, why could we not pack so much baggage and just go in that car? Like, why don't we just pack three baggages so we could all fit in there? And last year we obviously fitted completely a bit in the car, but like I had to sit in the back because I was the skinniest one in the family. And yeah, we were able to fit. But apparently everyone's, I would say, out of weight, But I'm like the only one in the family who's very thin. I think that's probably why some people are like, I would say like try to say I'm attractive or something, or like in shape, even though there are days when I exercise. But this year, around like November through now, I haven't had time to exercise, because like I said, if I don't like get my me time and exercise and get this living room cleaned, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to like exercise and like get back into shape like I was during the pandemic, because I worked out a lot during the pandemic. I did lose a lot of weight. I lost like 30 pounds during the pandemic, weighed like 120. But then once I got older and I went back to high school, I started weighing like 121, between 129. So I was like, as long as my weight's fine, my mom doesn't judge me on it, it's gonna be all right. But I decided to stop taking the diet because I felt like it was either hurting me or like it was I was like suffering or something. But she was like, it's fine, it's your choice, it's not mine. And I'm like, you completely said it's fine, so it's obviously your also fault too, and it's not just me. But yeah, anyways, apparently now it is now 3:28, and I still have to help my mom out. Honestly, this weekday and weekend is gonna be like so boring. Sundays is always boring, and you guys know from now on I don't film Sundays because like you guys, I just don't want to show you guys how I am on Sundays because like it's just a boring day, boring lazy day. But mostly, the best fun part of it only when like I go out and eat restaurants and that's it. Like there's nothing else fun about that and that's it. So yeah. I still have no idea when I'm going back to school still, but like at least I know I registered, but like my mom has to like pay probably 3 or 2 weeks after or before I go into class. But yeah, apparently the weather now. It's been a little okay, though yesterday was raining a bit. Actually, it was raining the whole day. It was a little annoying, but at least I've got all the groceries now for this week and next week. But yeah, I'm getting a little tired. I can't take a nap here because like I don't want to mess the beds up. But yeah, apparently it's just been today. The weather's been nice. But yeah, I'm going out. Woo.